Hello and welcome to the stage of greatness. I am Danielle Francine, and I have with me today my friend Ryan Burgess. Welcome, Ryan. I'm so excited to have you here with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this podcast with you and sharing my journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure. Yeah. And so you just to give the audience a little back story. So I think we met maybe like a year ago.
Yeah, probably
Right.
not
So
more.
yeah, somewhere around that. And I was introduced to you as one of my dear friend Louise, her
Okay.
trainer to do the
Yes.
crossing, right? To do the paddle. And so that is pretty much what I knew of you up
Mhm.
until maybe like a month ago, where Louise had mentioned, "Oh, have you ever heard Ryan's story?" I'm like, no, we talk about Ryan's story. And then you and I, what, a couple weeks ago, we connected in Journey
Sure.
Space, and
Yes.
you had let me into a little bit of that, and it was just an immediate. I was like, I don't even know your full story, and I know that people need to hear it, and it's going to inspire so many people and help so many people, and just really open up so many possibilities for others. So, yay! I'm really excited to hear
Yeah.
talk.
Thank you. Thank you for that. It's been
Mhm.
a heck of a journey, and I'm looking forward to sharing my story with you. So,
Cool. So let's start with the current. So what do you currently do? You're involved in these things.
yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm actually a head coach and trainer at a gym up here in Jupiter, Florida called Metabolic. We are a group fitness boutique type of style strength programming. So I've been there for the past. Well, I was started as a client. Now I've worked my way into becoming head coach there, and I absolutely love it. And when I'm not at the gym, you can find me involved with a nonprofit called Piper's Angels Foundation. And we have an annual event called Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis. So that is where we paddleboard from Bahamas back to Florida, 80 miles. And that's a journey in itself. That's a whole story in itself, I should say.
Oh my God, yeah.
So,
That's badass.
yeah.
I mean, number one, just the like me wrapping my head around that paddling 80 miles.
Yeah.
And I mean, someone like me, I'm in pretty good shape. And I'm like, I could
Sure.
not ever do that. My mind's
Eh,
of that. So that kudos to you and everybody
thank you.
that does that. And so you have completed that solo, like by yourself,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, so there's different ways of joining the crossing. A majority of people I would probably tell you do like a 2 or 4 person relay. So they're constantly like getting off and on the boat throughout that 80 miles. Myself, right when I heard about it, I was all about the full 80. So yeah, it's just one of those physical, not even just physical, but the mental aspect of doing something like that, of that caliber and that type of an endurance is beyond of anything I could think of. And so I went all in, and I've completed the crossing 4 times. Me and a buddy of mine are the only ones to do it 4 times, beach to beach, all 80 miles, never getting on the boat.
I didn't know that you were the only one. You and is it
Yeah, my buddy Josh Lanfear. Yeah.
nice?
Oh, yeah, it's
And what
quite an
was your
accomplishment.
what was your fastest time?
2021, I completed it in 13 hours and 32 minutes, and that was one hell of a year. We had 6 foot swells the whole night. We actually had to cancel the crossing, coming in for all the rec vision. I compete, so I was allowed to keep going, but if you saw my in that year, you would know that I left my heart and soul out on that ocean, and yeah, it was rough. It was bad,
Mm,
but got through it.
that's a whole other mindset. First, just
Yes,
crossing with the 80 miles, and then with that type of, I don't even know what to call it. I mean, the ocean is just an animal in itself.
it is. It is, and I have respect for the ocean. For me, it's a lifestyle. I'm out there. It's just a part of my life, and being in it, on it, over it. I love being on the water, and it's a place for me to, escape from the world and clear my thoughts, or gather some thoughts, I should say, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm prepared for those type of conditions, but when you put 80 miles with it, yeah, it's element.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
So
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah. So how did you find the crossing?
Well, I got involved in the crossing. God, I'm trying to think back now. So it was 2018. I was kind of going through some personal struggles at the time, and really trying to find out who Ryan was, and really fighting some addiction with drugs and alcohol. And a friend of mine, she sent me the link, and looked it up, found Travis Suit, the CEO and founder of the foundation, and was just completely blown away. I've grown up here in South Florida and always been, a surfer and kind of waterman, but I would never took it to this level. And I looked it up. I met Travis in February of 2018 at an event. He looked me up and down. He says, "You can do it." I said, "Let's go." So I literally signed up without knowing a single person, and it's forever completely changed my life. And I'm very thankful for the foundation, because I feel like it's not only helped people with cystic fibrosis, but has also been a big part of my life journey in itself, and saved me from where I was at that time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this is what I really want to know. Where were you at that time? So let's go
Yeah.
prior to the crossing. Like, who were
Mhm.
you before the man that you are now?
Sure. Yeah, like I said, I grew up here in South Florida. I'm very close to my family. We all live with like in this 5 mile radius up here in Jupiter. Didn't have a father figure growing up. So I was very rebellious. It was just my mom, my brother, and I. And I was always like the troublemaker, getting into things. And, I started experimenting with drugs and alcohol at a very young age. And I started in high school, and then it just completely escalated from there. Um, I started getting heavy into drugs specifically, and I always found myself having to be like that center of attention type of guy. The party, the girls, the having fun, going out the clubs. I mean, we've all done it in our 20s. I just had to, take it to the extreme always. Everything I did in my life, it was like driving fast cars and, jumping out of planes. And so I definitely lived on the extreme side.
Yeah.
And I was in my mid 30s, and I have my own house at the time in Jupiter, and was really self isolating in that place of depression. And I got really hooked on crack cocaine.
Hmm.
Yeah, it started with the cocaine, and then it went into harder drugs, and I was completely hooked. And I was spending my last dollar. I had $40. I remember $40 left in my bank account. My house was going into foreclosure, and oh, no, excuse me, October 23rd of 2017, I overdosed on crack mixed with fentanyl. And yeah, it was the first and last time I was ever shot up with dope. And yeah, it was a really tough time in my life. Didn't think I was going to make it.
Hmm.
So at that time, I was luckily the person I was with was able to call 911, give me CPR, mouth to mouth, keep me alive until the ambulance came and shot me up with Narcan to revive me. So yeah, I got real heavy for a while.
Yeah. So when you came out of that, like when you realized what had just happened, what was that moment in time like, if you could take us there?
Yeah, so it's tough, because it still hits me right there.
Hmm.
because I was, I was dead. I was dead. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. I was not living life. And after my overdose, I checked myself out of the hospital. I walked home because I'm not far from it. And I kept doing the things I was doing. I was still picking up the pipe, still smoking. It wasn't until like my family, they knew something was going on and kind of came over and gave me this little intervention. And, for me at that time, I'm like, dude, it's time to throw the white flag. So I checked into to rehab January of 2018. So I was still getting high and everything months after
Wow.
my overdose because I didn't think I had a problem.
Mm.
That's the addiction side.
Mhm.
And I can do it on my own. I can do it on my own. And I finally checked into rehab in January of 2018, and then turn around, cross an ocean 6 months later. Yeah,
Wow. So that so walking yourself into the rehab and checking yourself in, was that something, I know you said you're waving the white flag. Were you like, okay, yes, I'm doing this? Or were you like, oh fuck, I gotta do this in a real
yeah. It was a little bit of both. Yeah, it was a little bit of both because I am so close to my family and just having them over and watching, the pain in their eyes and the suffering that I'm not only causing myself, but my family and friends, it made me really realize like I had a serious fucking problem.
Yeah.
And, I went in through the program. At the time, it was an inpatient or an outpatient, excuse me. And it was like 3 months, 3 or 4 months, I don't remember. Um, but yeah, I was still like craving at that time because those first 6 months of recovery are tough, man. It is so tough, that 6 months a year. And again, like at that time, I was lucky to find Piper's Angels Foundation, and that was a huge turning point in my life of like having something to work towards and having an actual goal, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, you didn't know all that.
No, I did not. I did not.
Yeah,
I did not. And I mean, so just even with you sharing that, like I think about my graduating class, right? There's probably at least a dozen people that have passed away from
sure.
overdosing.
Yep.
And, you know, watching them and seeing them go in and out of rehab. And I have a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm good. I'm just going to use this instead of that. Right. And it's like, so for you to have made that shift, seeing the pain that it was causing your family, and then realizing, like, okay, like, I got to get my shit together, doing that, finding Piper's Angels, it's like, number one, your mindset.
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
do this.
Yep. Yeah. And it's tough because I'll tell you, like going back to what you just said, when I was in rehab, I mean, hearing everybody's stories going around the circle, it's like these people have been in, two, three, four, five, a dozen times.
Mm,
Here I am, my first time, and actually my last one. I still stayed in active for that first year, and coming back to the program, and we had like alumni nights, and being able to share my story and helping others and that type of environment was recovery in itself for me, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, but
Woo.
yeah, it was powerful. Not, go ahead.
No, I was just woo.
Yeah,
That is powerful.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because I'll never forget, like, just a quick story. I went back for alumni night when I was, I completed my outpatient program, and I was going back for alumni night. So anyone who completed got to go back and talk to people that were in recovery. And so we're going around the circle, and I'm telling my story of my incident, my overdose, and everything. And there's this guy that's there. He's in, alcoholic. And so I told my story, and he gets up afterwards, and He goes, I was the 911 operator on the phone with the girl that was giving you CPR. And I am not sure. I get goosebumps right now just like thinking about it. And here this guy is now in rehab, and I'm on the other side. And yeah, I just kind of broke down and gave him a big hug. And but yeah, he was a 911 operator on the other side when they took that phone call for my overdose.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, talk about like people being divinely placed,
Yeah,
not just once,
yeah,
but twice.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So, but yeah, that was a big turning point for me.
Mm-hmm. So that was 2018?
18. Yeah.
2018, January 2018. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are so like, going through rehab and then finding the crossing, those, I mean, those two things huge, healing and
Mhm.
recovering for you. Is there anything else that you, what are the words that I'm looking for, that you used to aid you along in your journey to like where you are now?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Everyone has a different journey or path they take for the recovery. I tried the AA for that first at least 6 months to a year, like after getting out of rehab. I just found it wasn't for me.
Mhm.
And it's okay. It doesn't have to be for you. And then there's different ways and paths of taking your recovery. But mine was being on the ocean. I
Mhm.
took my addiction right into the water and really haven't looked back since. Now, 5 crossings later, and getting healthy, getting in the gym. It's like it becomes this whole new lifestyle that I wasn't used to. I was an athlete growing up, and I played sports, football, and everything. But to understand and really like start living a healthy lifestyle and cutting out all of the drug alcohol, and it's completely changed my life, and be able to give back to others now. That's the reward. That's why I do what I do. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So you
And
get
what
it.
oh my God, absolutely. And it's like, what an awesome switch, because you're basically, poisoning and killing your body before.
Sure.
And then you make this switch and you're like, oh, wait, and here's all of these
Yes.
other things, right?
It's
It's like
crazy.
there's so much.
Yes. And it's just ever since, like, it just keeps opening all these doors, and I'm just constantly learning and giving back. It's like this forever cycle of learning, teaching, and it just doesn't stop. And I love it. I'm
Yeah.
addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
a
my
great
God, I
addiction
know.
to have. Yeah.
Yeah. So like one of the
So
things that sticks out in my mind that we talked about, and we're totally going to do another podcast about training and all of that. But
yeah.
some of the, to me, insane things that you do, like kettlebells at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just kept growing and growing as this waterman, as this paddleboarder, and crossing after crossing, and becoming the director of mentorship and training others and watching them succeed across the ocean. And I just wanted to expand my knowledge. And I'm like, how do what do I do? I want to take things to the next level. So I went out of my comfort zone, or not really, but yeah, I shouldn't say that because I signed up to down in Costa Rica by myself with Laird Hamilton. And if you know anything about Laird Hamilton, he is the pioneer of water sports. He is big wave surfer, complete legend. And he had this retreat called XPT, Extreme Performance Training. So I got to go down and train with him and learn a whole different new of like knowledge and techniques to take with me. And that was underwater kettlebell and dumbbell work. And it's yeah, to drop a 40-pound weight to the bottom of the ocean and crawl it back up. It's pretty cool. And it's here, it goes back to that mental.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, so that, and that you are the head of the mentorship
Yep.
or yeah. So, okay, yes, we know that you are very mentally strong. You have to be,
Yes.
absolutely. Um, what I think my brain is stuck on this. I'm like, I had a question and it's gone.
That's all right.
Oh, that's what I was
The
gonna ask.
mentorship.
Yeah, so you are now full time into training and you're the head coach and you're, very you have a very strong presence with the crossing. What were you doing prior to that? Because you just made that transition recently, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, that was another part of my journey, my life is like I felt growing up like I had to have the house, the white picket fence, the dog in the yard and everything. And I come to realize like that shit, that ain't one for me, and I grew up in a different way and maybe a little faster than others, but I was stuck in that corporate world for so long, like hating life and butting heads with my boss. And it just never gave me joy, it never gave me happiness, fulfillment. And I was fortunate enough. I was able to sell my house at the time and moved in with my girlfriend, and it just opened up opportunities because right when that money hit the bank, I walked right into corporate America and I said, I'm out. In less words, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't for me. And then I got really involved with metabolics and getting and now the head coach.
Nice.
And yeah, it's been a blessing, and it's been a blessing. I'm very grateful, but it came with a lot of hard work and reps.
Hmm.
I had to put in that time, and I had to go through that part of my life of the addiction and everything I was working with, and depression and whatever you want to call it. But I made it. I'm here,
Yes.
and I'm talking to you.
Yeah. And that was so when we were together a few weeks ago, right? So we were in Journey Space, listeners know,
Yep,
like plant medicine. Yep. And
sure.
so with intentions, as we were going around, mine was like, oh my God, a year ago, like I was like dying on the
Yeah,
floor. Like I couldn't wait to be a year ahead of time, to not be in pain, to not suffer,
sure.
to not, right? I was like, my life is fucking amazing. Like I love
Yep,
my life, right? And it gets
yep.
to you and you're like, it's fucking New Year's Eve. We're gonna
Yeah.
celebrate. I love everything. It's
Yes.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God. So
It's
like your
just it's
journey, like
yeah.
all of the shit that you went through, right? And yeah, we go through that for reasons, of course.
Yep.
And just the fact that you're sharing this, like, hey, I this was my addiction. I died. And then I
Yeah.
continued. And it wasn't
Yeah.
till my family, right, that I made the decision. Then, right, corporate America, and then like all of these things, and just trusting and moving. And now you're at a
Yeah.
point where,
I mean, you can see it on my face.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I really felt like I was just in this deep, deep, deep hole, and I just kept digging and working my way out of, and fighting the addiction and fighting this and fighting that. And yeah, I mean, now to be able to go to work and be passionate about what I'm doing and helping others, and the reward is watching them get better, stronger, faster, and even, being a mentor on the water. Like I love teaching people, new tricks and ways of understanding, and it's incredible. And then just I wear my heart on my sleeve. And to be now like a leader and someone in within my community that people look up to, from that little scrawny kid that was an addict. It's been pretty amazing.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I
So happy.
appreciate it.
And I
Yeah.
feel like I know you so much better now, also.
I
Now I really know you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so cool.
So
So with training and being the head coach and the level of involvement you have, what's your favorite part of all of that?
the success of my clients.
Mm.
Yeah, hands down. Watching them, like, PR on a certain movement or adding weight, it's just I feed off that shit. I love it. It's just like that group fitness environment. We're a lot different. We're not, we are strength. We're built on strength. So our girls are strong, our men are strong, and I love it. It fills my heart. It really does.
Yes. I feel
So
you. That was always my
yeah, you know
favorite
the
too.
feeling.
Yeah, watching
Yeah.
other people, it's like, get more excited
Yeah,
for them than I do for me.
it's no different than like Louise, 65 years old and coaching her and training her, to watch her cross the ocean. And it's just the reward of, watching these people step on the beach. It's like no other because I've had that feeling. I've had that feeling more than anybody. And to watch them succeed, that's it. That's all it is, man. Giving
Yeah,
back.
absolutely. Well, not only that, it's like who you are to those people,
Yeah,
like how Louise sees you because of what you basically gave to her, right? That gift
sure.
for her to be it. I mean, could she have done it with a different person? Probably. And not like you, not with
Yeah,
the mindset, not with the right. And
yeah,
yeah, it's it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That's good stuff.
Uh-huh. I
That's
love
good
it.
stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if we have people in SoFlo listening, would you like to give your how to get in touch with you if they want to train with you, if they want to like tell us about
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
I mean, we're always looking for paddlers and always looking for good people to come with a good cause. We've grown so much in these past few years, and now we had 180 paddlers this past year for the Crossing for Cystic Fibrosis. So you can definitely check us out on our Instagram.
Mm,
Um, I've kind of stepped back just a little bit as far as being the director of mentor, but I'm doing more one-on-one clients and really helping them succeed with their journeys, whether that's on the water and in the gym. And yeah, I mean, my Instagram, you can find me at rburgess08. And but yeah, I'm here to give back and
yeah.
watch you succeed.
Awesome. And so I guess my last question would be, because I really want to know for myself, what do you see for you in the next, say, like year or two? Do you have certain things that you want to do, accomplish?
Yeah, my mind's just like always working now. It's like, how do I go to that next level? How do yeah, right now I'm working with Metabolic and I absolutely love it. I don't see myself leaving there in one fashion or another, but really kind of developing my own program and involving the water and the training aspect with maybe recovery in there. So having that three combination, I think nobody else is really kind of doing something like that, and really taking that underwater training. I'm actually going out tomorrow with my buddy Josh, and we're gonna do some underwater, some dumbbell work. So yeah, just
Nice.
always finding new creative ways to go to that next level. So we'll
Absolutely.
see.
Yes. I would like to say
I'm
I'll come and
excited.
do that with you, but
Yeah, come out, come up to the Jupe.
get my ass kicked. Like, I can't.
No, you do great. You can cross the ocean easily. You kidding me?
Oh,
Get you on a
again,
board.
again, that mindset. And it's the, like I think about it and just not even being on a board, just being in the ocean. Like when it's
Yeah,
high tide and the waves,
yeah,
I'm not even comfortable with that.
yeah. Well, the key little factor is too. I haven't told the audience yet, but you do leave the Bahamas at 12 o'clock in the morning. So you
Mm,
spend a good 6 hours in the pure darkness of the middle of the ocean. So that's a whole experience in itself. But that sunrise is like no other.
I
Absolutely
bet.
magical. Yeah.
I bet. I could
Yep.
see that. And again, based on your perspective, like pitch black, no anything, either that's
Nothing.
really peaceful for some people or terrifying.
Yeah, it can certainly go either way. I mean, I've had my moments where I laid down and looked at the entire galaxy, and then
Mhm.
I've had just like I cannot wait for the sun to come up. So, yeah, but yeah, to each its own.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Well, yes, I would love to have you back and do a show on training, different types of training, the
Yeah,
body, the that is all of that is vast, you know.
sure,
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, no, I'd love to come back. I think it's a great connection with us and having a passion and love for what we do and to be able to help and with others, certainly
Yes.
we can have some fun.
Yes, absolutely. So,
So
people, all the things that you want to know, training, everything, anything, reach out to Ryan. I'll put his information in the show notes. Also, don't be shy. He's amazing. Amazing. I didn't read all
thank
your
you.
titles at the beginning, but I'll I'll have a laundry list. And
Yeah.
that's Ryan. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I'm far from shy, so I'm
Yes, I
pretty much
know.
an open book. Yeah, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So.
The first time I met you, I'm like, okay, well, he is not shy. He is also not quiet. Okay. Do I like this or do I not? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try not to be too obnoxious, but
You do well. You're good. You're
thank you.
good.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. So thank you so much for sharing all the things that you shared, your story, your thoughts, your feelings, all of it, really. And it was a pleasure to have you, and I'm really looking forward to having you back. And
Yeah,
really grateful to have connected with you,
yeah,
number one, but also like number two in this way for sure.
yeah.
Like, thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. It's still important for me to share my story, and if that inspires or helps others, then we're doing it right. So thank you for
Mhm.
having me on, and definitely looking forward to coming back.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome.
All right,
All
all
right,
right, Beth.
guys. So until next time, this is Danielle again with the Stage of Greatness. Share this with people that you feel need it. Do all of the things, whatever you feel in your heart, just follow it. It's always right. Till next time. See you guys
You.
later.